thinking about moving to Bellevue, Washington? Well, in today's video, we are going to tell you everything there is to know about living in Bellevue, Washington. We're going to go ahead and jump into my computer, take a look around on Google Maps, show you what Bellevue is close to, the different amenities it has, the different neighborhoods, the parks, all of that good stuff. We even have some great driving footage, so be sure to stick around till the end so you can see that, and we are going to get after it right now. If this is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Greater Seattle, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and tap that notification bell so that you'll be the first to know about the current market in Greater Seattle. My name is Jess. My husband Sterling and I are realtors in the Greater Seattle area. Our team gets calls and texts every day from people just like you looking to make their move to the Greater Seattle area, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're planning to make that move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We would love to help you make that smooth move to Seattle. So like I mentioned before, we're going to go ahead and dive into my computer and take a look around on Google Maps. Let's go. Okay, so as you can see, we are surrounded by water in the Greater Seattle area, and Bellevue is no exception. On the west, it is right next to Lake Washington, and on the east, it's right next to Lake Sammamish. You actually have access to both of those lakes on either side of Bellevue, which is pretty cool. However, being surrounded by mountains and water means that getting around the Greater Seattle area can be a bit challenging. So we're just going to go ahead and point out a few things here. First off, over here by Seattle, we have the Puget Sound. In the middle, we have Lake Washington, and on the east side, we have Lake Sammamish. And just so that you know, if you're not local to the Greater Seattle area, anything that is on the west side of Lake Washington is referred to the west side. And anything on the east side of Lake Washington is referred to as the east side. So just terminology, local terminology, in case you're not from around here, that's what we refer to, things that are on the west or east side of Lake Washington. That's kind of the dividing line. Okay, so as you can see, hopefully you can see on your map, Bellevue, this is kind of a crude outline here, is situated on the east side of Lake Washington. And it is basically right across the lake from Seattle, which is fantastic because within 15 to 20 minutes, you can get over to Seattle. Now you have two options to do that from Bellevue. And both of these options are going to be the only way that you can actually cross Lake Washington. So the first one is going to be the 520 bridge. And that is on the north side of Bellevue. That is a toll bridge. So depending on how much you're commuting to the west side, if it's a daily thing or if it's just occasionally, and depending on the time of day, you may opt to not pay that toll and instead go further south and take the I-90 bridge, which crosses over Mercer Island and gets you over to Seattle. So it is nice to have two different options. I always like that. I hate being stuck someplace where you only have one route to and from. So that does make it really convenient. Two other important roads that you will hear a lot about if you are considering moving to the Greater Seattle area are going to be I-5 and I-405. So I-5 is going to run north and south on the west side of Lake Washington, and I-405 is going to run north and south on the east side of Lake Washington. And they both intersect at the north and south points of the lake. So those freeways are both great ways to get around the lake. I'm going to go ahead and clear my map here and talk about getting to the airport. So getting to the airport, again, I like this because we have two different options. You can take I-90, hit Seattle, and then take I-5 south to get to the airport, or you can just hop onto 405 and take that all the way down around the bottom of the lake to get to SeaTac Airport. So both of those routes are going to be anywhere from 25 to 35 minutes, just depending on traffic. So you will want to make sure that you keep a good eye out on whatever sort of traffic app that you use. I love Google Maps, but some people don't. So some people like Waze and other things, whichever one you use, just make sure to keep an eye on that. That's a good tip for anywhere you want to get around the greater Seattle area, as often there are alternative routes, and you never know when there's going to be accidents. So you don't want to get stuck somewhere or get a surprise in terms of how long it takes to get different places. Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom in on Bellevue and go ahead and take a little bit of a closer look here. So on the north end, Bellevue is going to border Medina, Clyde Hill, Hunts Point, Yarrow Point, Kirkland, which you can't see is right here, and then you have Redmond, which is great because you're very close, especially to Kirkland and to Redmond, as well as Seattle. Seattle is about 15 to 20 minutes, just depending on the time of day that you go. Redmond, again, depends on where you're located in Bellevue, but that can also be 15 to 20 minutes. Same with Kirkland. So very convenient central location in the Puget Sound area. Okay, let's go ahead and clear off my screen again. Okay, so Bellevue is often referred to as the sister city of Seattle, and we're sitting at around 150,000 residents of Bellevue. So it's a good sized city. It's also not too overwhelming, which I really like. Another one of the things that I love about Bellevue is it has just a huge amount of parks. It has over 100 parks, over 2,700 square miles of green space, open space to enjoy, and 800 miles of walking trails. So you have plenty to do in the city of Bellevue. Even though you are close to the mountain ranges, being situated where you are, you also don't have to leave Bellevue if you don't want to. So now let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of the parks. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in here. First up is going to be Bellevue Downtown Park, and you can see it is situated literally right in the heart of downtown Bellevue, which is fantastic because it's rare to find such open green space in the heart of all the hustle and the bustle. So it's easy if you work in downtown Bellevue to go ahead and hop on over. Even if you live in downtown Bellevue, you can go ahead and still enjoy the outdoor green space. It sits on 20 acres. It has a great play area for kids, great walking space to take your pets. It also has a 240-foot wide waterfall that dumps into a reflective pond. So it's just a really pretty area to go around and walk. You get great views of Mount Rainier and the city of Bellevue. There's also a lot of great community events that take place in the Bellevue Downtown Park. Another one of my favorite parks in Bellevue is the Bellevue Botanical Gardens. Now, this originally started out as a 7-acre park and has since turned into over 53 acres of beautiful botanic gardens. You can go, and it's not far from downtown Bellevue. In fact, let me go ahead and just highlight. So look, we were right over here at Bellevue Downtown Park. This is the main downtown center, and right over here is the botanical gardens. You actually get some great views of the city, but you feel like you're a world away. It certainly helps you to decompress, to get calm, to just inhale that fresh air, to look at some really beautiful plants. They also have a great cafe that you can go and grab a great cup of coffee or tea and sit out and enjoy nature. Another great perk is that it is free admission. Donations are more than welcome, of course, and it has plenty of walking trails as well. Okay, the next park I want to go ahead and point out is Maidenbower Bay Park. You can see it right over here. And this is a fantastic park because it has beach access. REI does rentals for kayaks and canoes. It has a pedestrian pier that you can walk along. It has restrooms and a place to shower after you've enjoyed the water. It has great views as well, and is just an enjoyable place to go for a picnic. Take the dog, take the family, whatever you want to do. It is a fantastic location right on the water. So those are just a few of the parks. Let's go ahead and talk about the downtown area in Bellevue. Let me go ahead and refresh my screen here, and we'll go ahead and zoom in just a little bit more. Okay, so right in this area, we have Bellevue Square Mall, and this mall is over 200 retailers, so you can find just about anything that you need in this mall. It is a great mall to go walk around if you just want to get exercise and it's rainy outside. It's really fun to walk through the mall. They have a lot of skylights, so it feels open, light and bright. It's multi-level, so there's plenty to do in that mall, plenty of restaurants, coffee shops, you name it, they've probably got it. Right across the street, it also has indoor access right across the street, right across the Bellevue WA, to Lincoln Town Center. And that is a fantastic place as well because it has great restaurants, it has other retail space, as well as it has some residential housing. And it also has some office space as well. So again, very centrally located to downtown Bellevue. You have so many things so close. It's very walkable. You can make a whole day of it, an afternoon of it. Whatever you like to do is really located in this area. Lincoln Square also has a great movie theater if you want to head out and grab a bite to eat and then go catch the latest hit. So, if you've done your shopping at Bellevue Square and you've checked out Lincoln Square, but you're still looking for something maybe a little more high-end, you can go ahead and head over on 8th and hit the shops at the Rayvern. And what's great about it is it has some higher end shops. So they have places like Prada, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Moncler, just to name a few. So if that's up your alley, that is also a fantastic place to check out. There's also some residential living there as well if you would like to live in the downtown area, as well as some office space. I know Microsoft has a couple of offices there, so that's a fantastic location as well. And as you can see, it's so close to I-405 if you want to go north or south. And again, easy access to get across the lake with 520 and the I-90 bridge. Okay, so let's go ahead and clear off my screen and we're gonna zoom out a little bit to take a look again at Bellevue as a whole. Just get a better understanding from a bird's eye view. Okay, so the majority of the shopping, the dining, the commercial workspace, just the hustle and bustle of city life is going to happen right in this downtown area of Bellevue. The further out you get, the more residential you get. You do have other smaller strip malls, other great amenities, but the hub of it is all going to be central to this downtown Bellevue location. Okay, so when we talk about Bellevue, there are 16 neighborhoods, and those have actually been consolidated down to 14. And I'm gonna go ahead and switch screens so that we can talk about the different areas and just point out the top 3 neighborhoods that are gonna be the most expensive, and then the top 3 neighborhoods that are gonna be the most affordable. So if you are considering moving to Bellevue, you kind of have a good idea of what the neighborhoods will look like. You can come back and reference this video. Okay, so the most expensive neighborhood in Bellevue is going to be Northwest Bellevue. And as you can see, it borders both Medina and Clyde Hill. Medina is right here, Clyde Hill is right here. We have Hunts Point and Yarrow Point right here. So those are very expensive areas to live, and Northwest Bellevue borders that as well as the downtown area. So as you would expect, this is one of the most expensive areas in Bellevue. We are looking at $3.88 million for the median home value in Northwest Bellevue, and that puts us at about $875 price per square foot. So when you're looking at the cost of what you can get for your money, just keep that in mind when we're looking at the different areas of Bellevue. Okay, next up is going to be West Bellevue, which again, as you can see, downtown Bellevue borders both Northwest and West Bellevue. And so this is going to come in at $2.75 million as the median home value, and it comes in at $898 price per square foot. So again, another expensive location and nice location in Bellevue. So you're always gonna have to make some adjustments depending on where you wanna live. Either you're gonna pay a little bit more or find something that's a little bit more affordable and maybe drive a little bit further to the amenities. But because both of these places border downtown while not actually living in downtown, it makes them very popular because you get a house, you get a neighborhood with all of the amenities of living in a big city. Okay, and coming in at number 3 as the third most expensive neighborhood in Bellevue is going to be West Lake Sammamish. And this is going to have a median home value at $2.07 million. That puts us at a price per square foot at $636. So over here, you can see we were looking in the $898 price per square foot over in Northwest Bellevue and West Bellevue, but in West Lake Sammamish, you're actually getting more for the price that you're paying. So just something to keep in mind. This is a very popular neighborhood because it is right on Lake Sammamish. It has great beach clubs, and depending on the home, if it's connected to those beach club access rights, it is in very high demand. Okay, so now that we've talked about the most expensive neighborhoods in Bellevue, let's go ahead and talk about the least expensive or more affordable areas of Bellevue. So if you like the Bellevue area, you like that it's convenient to so many other places, Seattle, Mercer Island, we have Kirkland, we have Redmond, all of the great areas, then and you want to make this your home, then let's look at some other places that might fit your budget a little bit better. I'm gonna go ahead and clear my screen here. So coming in at number 1 is going to be Factoria. And on this map, they did combine some of the neighborhoods. Okay, we have Factoria and Eastgate. Well, Factoria, this is going to be a rough drawing, but Factoria is really right about in this area right here. So that's gonna be the most affordable location in Bellevue to live. We are looking at a median home value of $515,000, and that will be a very basic starter home. So you're not going to get a very large home for that. That puts you at price per square foot at $498. So again, that's quite the drop from what we were looking at for the most expensive areas of Bellevue. Next up is going to be Crossroads, and that median home value is going to be $649,000, which puts us at the same price per square foot at $498 as Factoria. Okay, and our third most affordable neighborhood is going to be Woodridge, and that median home value is going to be $1.01 million, and that puts us right at about $604 price per square foot. So again, we're taking a little bit of a jump when we looked at both Factoria and Crossroads, but that would be the third most affordable area in Bellevue. Now, if you want to know about all the other neighborhoods, feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to discuss the other areas and talk about your goals and your needs and your budget, because we know that there are so many factors that go into making that decision. Your commute, where you want to be close to amenities, the neighborhoods, the schools. Bellevue has a fantastic school district, so that is something that is really going for you living in the Bellevue area. Okay, let's go ahead and jump back over to Google Map, and we'll zoom out just a little bit so we can see Bellevue and the surrounding areas. As you can see, like I mentioned before, it's just a great central location to all of the surrounding areas, as well as it has all of the amenities of a big city while not feeling too overwhelming, because you only have 150,000 residents. So it's not as congested, and you feel, because of all the parks, you feel like you can get outside and get that fresh air. You're also really close to the mountains. And I forgot to mention this before. So we have Bellevue right here, and it is located to so many great outdoor hiking areas. You can just hop on I-405, hit I-90, and you have Cougar Mountain, you have Squawk Mountain, you've got Tiger Mountain. And if you head out on I-90, you can hit Snoqualmie Pass. So there are so many great areas to go. You can go skiing and hiking. It's so close to that, while also having the amenities right in Bellevue. But if you even want to head over to the west side to Seattle, you're not that far either. You're only a 20-minute drive, and there's a light rail station that will be opening very shortly that you could also hop on, and that'll take you across I-90 into downtown Seattle as well. So again, just a fantastic location. It's so great that it's right on Lake Washington and then Lake Sammamish on both sides of it. So plenty of access to those lakes and the outdoor paddleboarding, canoeing, swimming. It's just a fantastic area. And you're also just really close to Kirkland and Redmond with a lot of those tech jobs. So if you work in the tech sector, again, really convenient location. And with that, that is our map tour of the Bellevue area. We hope you enjoyed this. As promised, there will be some driving footage right after this, so be sure to stick around for that. And whether you're planning to move in 9 days or 90 days, please reach out, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email. We'd be happy to help you make that smooth move to the greater Seattle area. And until next time, we hope to see you around town.